Hello, dear students. Welcome to the session Problems on Single Block Break or Single Shoe Break. So, in the previous session, we have discussed some of the problems on the single block break. And here, in this problem, in addition to the determination of operating force, there are something new parameters that we have to carry out, or the calculation of these things that we have to carry out here. So, with respect to this, the statement which is given here, say the figure is given for this particular problem, and it is capable of absorbing a power of 8.5 kilowatt at 1120 rpm. So, power P is given as 8.5 kilowatt, and rpm of the drum rotating the drum is given as 1120 rpm. The drum diameter is 320 mm. So capital D or small d is equal to 320 mm. The coefficient of friction is given here as 0.28. So mu is 0.28. The allowable pressure on the friction is 0.175 MPa. So pressure, that is the normal pressure, that is given here as 0.175 Newton per mm square. So we have to determine the operating force required at the end of the lever to stop the rotation. And then we have to go for the determination of size of the shoe, that is block, assuming length is equal to width. So length of the block is equated to the width of the block. And after that, the dimensions of the rectangular cross section of the lever if the depth is thrice the width. So these are the three things or two additional things that we have to carry out here. So in the previous cases, we have calculated the power in one of the problem. If the value of 2 theta is greater than or equal to 90 degree or less than, greater than 60 degree or less than 60 degree. Based upon those two cases, we have calculated the power. And then we have calculated with respect to the calculation of say tangential force, torque required, and then the operating force F. So after this, the in this particular problem, you have to design the shoe as well as this shoe, that is the block, as well as the lever which is used here. So with this information, so first of all, you see the sketch and note down the given information. Say some of the information that is given in the statement, such as diameter and rotation. Rotation is shown here, that is clockwise direction. And in addition to that, the value of A and the value of B, that is A is equal to 330 mm and B is equal to 270 mm. And also here, the distance of fulcrum point from the center of the drum, that is given as 100 mm. But actually we want the distance between the line of action of FT and the fulcrum pin. So that value is C here. So that C is not given, so R is given. So R minus this 100 mm. So that gives us the value of C as 60 mm. So with this information, we have to proceed with the calculation part. So the above figure, this is the mirror image of figure C. Mirror image of figure C. So that is available in the data handbook, page number 267. So here the line of action of tangential force, that is Ft, if I represent it, which is not shown in the question statement. So Ft, that is the tangential component to this circle or the drum, that is away from the fulcrum point here because it is rotating in clockwise direction. Suppose if I take if I take the mirror image of this, so the anti-clockwise rotation that is to be obtained, or the block is placed above the drum, so that it is similar to the anti-clockwise rotation of the figure C, which is available in the data handbook, page number 267. Now Ft, that is lies in below the center of drum as well as fulcrum point, and this Ft tangential force acts away from the fulcrum point. So for this we have to refer the counterclockwise rotation of the figure C of the data handbook. And also we have to make use of equation number 13.17 E of the data handbook. So now we have to calculate the actuating force. To calculate actuating force, we require the value of Ft. Since the value of Ft is not given, so that's what we have to determine here. Ft value itself we have to determine. So before substituting the value of Ft, so here in this particular problem statement, the value of P is given as well as kilowatt as well as RPM value is given. So by using this, so the first and foremost step before using this actuating force equation, we have to calculate the torque T value. So T value that we can calculate by using the power equation 2 pi n T by 60 into 1000. So that torque T is 72.48 Newton meter converted into Newton mm by multiplying the value by 1000. So that value is 72.48 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. Substitute this T here in the equation of tangential force Ft. So Ft is equal to T by R. So that you will be getting the value of Ft as 452.9 newtons. Now you can make use of this equation 13.17 E, which is there in data handbook for figure C with respect to counterclockwise rotation. So in this equation, if I see this equation 13.17 E, page number 267. So Ft value calculated, B value is given, A and B, and mu value is also given. Mu is less than 60 degrees, therefore the theta, 2 theta value is less than 60 degrees, hence mu is directly used here, C by B. So the value of F what I get here is 682.7 newtons. That is the actuating force. So this is what the thing that we have already did in, or dealt in the previous sessions also. So the new thing that we have to discuss here is in this session, that is design of shoe or design of block. So here length of the block that is equal to width of the block that is given as per the given statement. Now we can make use of the equation of normal pressure. Normal pressure is given by the ratio of normal force to the cross sectional area of the shoe or the block. So here we have to substitute the values of Pn and Fn to get the values of L and B dash. So Pn value is given as 0.175 Newton per mm square. But Fn value that we can use this equation. So by using this equation of Fn, so we can get the value of uh, Fn. So Ft by mu. Ft value is known and mu value is also known. So substitute Ft as 682.7 divided by mu 0.28. So this value is 2438 newtons. So once you get this value, since L is equal to B dash, so which is given here, so that the value or the equation that is resulted as L square. So because L is also B, sorry, B dash. So that this equation is Fn divided by Pn. So Fn value is known, that is 2438 from this expression, and P value is given. So this value is given. So by using these things, we can get the value of L as 118 mm. So which is equal to L. So this is also equal to B dash, it is as it is given. So this is what with respect to the calculation of the dimensions of the block or shoe. Now in the same manner I have to design the lever also, brake lever. So with respect to this particular calculations, there are some assumptions that we have to make here. Assumptions in the sense by seeing the given figure itself. So the given the lever is to be treated as the cantilever beam. This lever is to be treated as the cantilever beam. So this is to be considered as cantilever beam. Say this is written here, cantilever beam. So that it is having a cross section of what B dash as the width and H dash as the width. So these things that are already shown here are H1 and B1. H1 and B1. So H1 is equal to 3 times the B1, which is given. So by using this particular value, so we, as it is a cantilever beam, means we can use the bending equation here. Bending equation. So bending equation is given by M by I is equal to sigma by C. So therefore sigma is equal to M into C divided by I. So what is M? M is given by F into A. So that value is 225.3 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. So this is M. So once you get the value of M, the next step is to calculate the Z. Z equal to what? That is equal to I divided by C. I divided by C it is. So this is the value which is called as section modulus. So this section modulus is given by Z is equal to B1 H square H1 square divided by 6. Since H1 is equal to 3 times B1, that is substituted here. So therefore this value is resulted as 3 by 2 times B1 cube is the answer for Z. So next we have to use the equation of sigma. Sigma is equal to m divided by z. So by expanding this expression, this is the resulting value in the RHS. But sigma is not given, so it is to be assumed as at 117.6. Say C40 steel is assumed for the material, assumed as the material for the what with respect to the lever, and sigma y is equal to 324. Sigma y is equal to 324, and select the factor of safety. Factor of safety is selected as either 3 or 2.5. So if I use these two values, so I will be getting the value of sigma as 117.6. So if I substitute 117.6 in the LHS here, so I will be getting the value of B1 as 11 mm and H1 as 33 mm. So these are the things that are to be discussed here. So this is what the calculation of B1 and H1. So for this you have to refer page number 463 of the data handbook. So to refer or to get the value of sigma. So this is what the thing that we have to carry out with respect to the design of brake lever. So once you calculate the value of B1 and H1, so B1 is equal to 11 mm and H1 equal to 33 mm. So here you have to assume the material for the lever as C40 steel and refer the appendix 1, page number 463, 464 like that, and assume note down the sigma y for that steel, C40 steel, and factor of safety either 2.5, 2.8 or 3 like that you assume, get the value of sigma, that is 117.6 here. Substitute in the LHS, get the values of B1 and H1. So in other kind of problems, suppose if in the previous problems we have come across all the brakes are single block brakes, but if the case is related to the double block or with respect to double shoe brake. Double shoe brake means here you will be getting the block on either side of the block, either side, say upward and downward or left side and right side. So in this case you have to see that what is given here. Say the layout of the brake drum is given and it is used to transmit a torque of 250 Newton mm, that is 250 into 10 raised to 3. This is the value of torque, and then it is rotating at an RPM of 600. So this is capital N as shown in figure. The brake drum is 200 mm diameter. Say the value of diameter is 200 mm and R is equal to 100 mm, and then the angle of contact is to 120 degrees. So this particular value is 120 degree here, that is 2 theta, so which is more than 60 degree. So 2 theta is equal to 120 degrees, so which is greater than 60 degrees now. So therefore the value of mu is to be replaced by you have to replace that value by mu dash. So you have to calculate mu dash here, and then the value of mu is given as zero point 0.3. So mu is equal to zero point 0.3 is given. So with the help of this zero point 0.3 you have to get the value of mu dash. So mu dash is to be calculated here. So you have to calculate the spring force required at the to set the brake or to apply the brake. So this value is to be calculated. So this value that remains same on either side. So that here if it is rotating in clockwise direction, if it is rotating in clockwise direction, since it is rotating in clockwise here, so with respect to that we have to consider case 1 for the left brake and case 2 for the right brake. It is rotating in counterclockwise for first case and clockwise for second case. So as it is rotating in this direction means the ft that acts in this manner, say this is to be represented as ft1, ft1, that is away from the fulcrum point, away from the fulcrum point. And then we have to see this, so it is rotating in clockwise direction, and here the value of ft that acts towards the fulcrum pin, so this is ft2. So that these are the two kinds of problems what we are representing here, ft1 and ft2. So this is the first case and this one is the second case. So the value of c is this one and this is equal to b and this is equal to a. So with this information we have to proceed to the calculation part. So here, the next thing we have to note down the given information which are noted here. As I told, the value of theta, 2 times theta is greater than 60 degrees. Hence, the value of mu dash is to be calculated by using this equation. Say mu into 4 of sine theta divided by 2 theta, as we did in one of the previous problems. So the value of mu dash is 0.351. So now consider only one of the shoe, that is left hand shoe or left side shoe, that is a equal to 150 mm and b is also equal to 150 mm, c is equal to 50 mm. So this is what the answer for c. So now use the equation. Say tangential force ft lies above the center of drum and fulcrum point. So this is the condition what we have to use, and acting away from the fulcrum pin. So the fulcrum, this force is acting away from the fulcrum here. So this is tangential force ft1. So ft1, so by using this relation, so this value of ft1 is in terms of 0.795 into f, 0.795 into f. So here the value of mu is mu dash, the value of mu is mu dash. So this mu dash is to be used here in the equation. And c is equal to 50 and b is equal to 150. All those values, they are substituted, and this is available in equation number 13.17e for counterclockwise rotation, as if it is to be considered for that particular case. And then the next bit, say I have to consider the right hand side of the block. So to consider this right hand side of the block, can you see this? Say here the value of ft, that is towards the fulcrum point, and the drum is rotating in clockwise direction, and all other values, they are remain same. So by using the concept of figure c of the data handbook, equation number 13.17d is to be used here. So that is nothing but ft that lies below the center of drum as well as fulcrum point, and then towards the fulcrum, it is the line of action of ft that acts towards the fulcrum. So ft2 is the only unknown term here, f is also unknown, so this value is to be calculated in terms of f. So this is second one. So now to get the total torque expression, total torque T is equal to Ft1 plus Ft2 into R. So that you will be getting the value of F. So torque T is given. So as it is known value substituted here, and the value of F is obtained. So this is what the another thing that is to be calculated here. So once the value of F is calculated, so this is the first part that is asked here. So then we have to go for the rest of the calculation. Say another thing that is asked here is width of the shoe if the value PV, pressure into velocity value, is 2 Newton per mm square, right? Mm square per second. So by using this value, we have to go for the calculation of width here. So to calculate width, we have to use the equation of pressure itself. So pressure P is equal to F divided by 2WR into sine theta. So sine 60 is the angle, theta is the 60 degree here, and R is radius 100 mm, and W is the width. That's what we have to calculate. R is 100 mm again, and pressure P is 0.3183. How this particular value is obtained? As this is taken here, say velocity V is taken to the RHS. So 2 divided by V, that gives us the value of pressure. So by using this relation. So what is velocity? Velocity is by using fundamental expression pi dn by 60 into 1000. So that value is 6.283 Newton meter per second. So once you substitute that value of velocity here in this expression, so that the value of pressure is, that is 0.3183 Newton per mm square. So that value is to be taken in the LHS here. So that after solving, so this equation is standard equation that you have to remember, 2WR into sine theta. So 2W, this is not R here. So 2W into 100 into sine of 60. So this value is width of shoe, what you get here after simplification. So that is 72.15 mm. So this is the thing related to the double block shoe brake. So only the change is here you have to carry out the given problem as, or you have to split the given problem into two cases. As one is case one, that we have to consider the left side only, left side only. So with respect to that, So the A value, and this is the B value, and this is the C value, and FT1, that is away from the fulcrum point, and this is rotating in counterclockwise rotation. So by considering figure C of page number 267, you have to get the value of F, that is Ft in terms of Ft in terms of F. And similarly, for the second case, you have to consider the right hand side of the block. So here this value is are the known values, and then Ft is towards the fulcrum point, and by using the second case, and you have to get the value of uh, you have to get the values of Ft in terms of Ft1 and Ft2 in terms of F. And finally, we have to make use of the torque equation. So torque equation, that is represented here as m suffix t. So t is equal to mt multiply equal to Ft1 plus Ft2 into Ft1 plus Ft2 into r. So by using this relation, you have to get the value of Ft, since the value of t is given. So by using the given value, Ft1 and Ft2, they are in terms of F, and R is also known, that is 100 mm. Substitute in this expression, so that you will be getting the value of spring force F. So this is related to double block shoe brake. So this completes the single block brake. In the next session, we'll start simple band brake. Thank you.